Welcome to The Secret Place with Steph Abane. 5-minute devotions for hungry hearts and searching souls.
Hi there, Steffa here. Glad that you're back with me. Today I have a great author that I have not shared before with you, someone named Richard Foster. Perhaps you've read or heard of his Celebration of Disciplines. Well, he's got a book called Prayer, Finding the Heart's True Home, and it's powerful. It's really, really powerful. There's a very short passage in here on prayer, on the different kinds of prayer, and this one is about adoration. So let me read it to you. It's from chapter 8, the prayer of adoration. Prayer is the human response to the perpetual outpouring of love by which God lays siege to every soul. When our reply to God is most direct of all, it is called adoration. Adoration is the spontaneous yearning of the heart to worship, to honor, to magnify and bless God. In one sense, adoration is not a special form of prayer, for all true prayer is saturated with it. It is the air in which prayer breathes. For the sea, it is the sea in which prayer swims. In another sense, though, it is distinct from other kinds of prayer, for in adoration we enter the rarefied air of selfless devotion. We ask for nothing but to cherish Him. We seek nothing but His exaltation. We focus on nothing but His goodness. In the prayer of adoration, we love God for Himself, for His very being, for His radiant joy. I've got to tell you, when I was much younger, I could never even imagine adoring and loving God the way that Richard J. Foster just described. Follow Him? Yes, in my 20s. Fervently following after the Lord, obeying Him, endeavoring to obey Him, yes. Seeking Him, yes. Worshiping Him in song, dedicating my life to Him, yes. Yes, all that since age 17 I did and I could conceive of. But adoring God, I've got to say, those of you who have a natural, deep adoration of God from the moment that you can think about who He is and who you are, and what life is all about, wonderful. I say that's wonderful, but I did not have that. And I would say that I always loved worship music, worship songs, because it would draw my heart that way to just adore Him in ways that were not natural for me. Very hard for me to worship God or love Him with that adoring kind of prayer when I couldn't see Him. And in many ways He was described to me through the scripture and through other people, all about justice and not love. But as I began to know Him, as I began to get to know Him, I realized what a loving God He is, and just how all-encompassing His love is, and just the very fact that He gives us the ability to love is His mark upon us. I mean, so often we're concerned with that mark of sin, that first sin that separates us from Him. And that was real too, and that's real in our lives too. But what about the mark of God that is embedded on every single creature, every single human being that's born? That we're made in His image. We're made to love. We yearn for love. We want love. We are born with His mark of love on us. That is an awesome thing. And when I started seeing that, when I started really seeing that in my mind's eye, deep in my heart, in my inner being, it started opening up my heart to ways of really loving Him and adoring Him and walking in the joy that is truly His joy, that is supernatural, that it comes from outside ourselves, that is transcendent, that in spite of what's happening in our lives or in the world, and the sickness or the sorrow or the tragedies that we have to deal with, and we all do, none of us is exempt from the difficult things, the challenges, the tragedies. But when I started that, it opened my whole life up, this kind of prayer. So if you sing songs on Sunday and sometimes you just feel vacant or empty inside, or you feel like the words are straw in your mouth, like you maybe don't really mean them, or you wish you could mean them but you don't, when everyone's singing, I love to love you, Lord, I love you, let Jesus Christ show you the depths of the Father's love. That's how it happened for me. When I was just in my late 20s, I remember in prayer crying out to God, struggling with this very thought of the prayer of adoration. I want to be real, God. I want to be true. I don't want to just say words. I don't want to just walk in a ritual that becomes empty and call that prayer. I want what's real. I want you. And he showed me that the way to his love is through Jesus Christ. It's very clear in the Bible. And I don't know if it's been preached to you or taught to you or not, but it's very clear in the Bible. And when the Lord began to show me his love, the depths of his love, it was through Jesus Christ. It was through being real, honest, talking to the Lord, and walking with him. And I'll never be the same. You won't either. I hope you have an awesome day. Bless you. Until next time.
Breathe, listen, and receive. Take a moment to soak it all in. Until next time.